Hey everyone! Today I've got 3 unbelievable true stories for you about people who made tiny choices that completely changed their lives, and in some cases, changed the world. If you love strange, inspiring, or just plain jaw-dropping stories, you're in the right place. We post a new story every week, so hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss this. Let's dive in. The Hollywood Gamble. In 1986, 22-year-old Jake Rivers was walking across his college campus. Just weeks from graduating with a journalism degree, he realized he didn't want to be a journalist. He loved movies. Hollywood movies. They were his escape, his dream. So, Jake did something wild. He left college and moved to Los Angeles to pursue acting. But Hollywood was tough. Thousands of dreamers competed for every role. To survive, Jake took odd jobs. He worked as a mascot during the day and chauffeured entertainers at night. It was exhausting, and it didn't pay much. One night, while driving one of the entertainers, who also wanted to be an actor, Jake heard about a special acting class. Hesitant, he decided to try it. Just once. In the class, he was paired with another actor who had a real audition. Jake only meant to support the scene, but he blew everyone away. Agency reps were so impressed, they cast him in the role instead. That tiny choice changed everything. Soon, Jake starred in hit after hit, becoming one of the most famous actors of his generation. That's the power of saying yes when opportunity knocks. Fun fact: in that first class, Jake improvised a small line about a bird outside the window. It became a legendary moment in acting schools, showing how small creativity can leave a huge impact. Story 2. The Girl Who Survived. April 1945. A small Dutch town. 15-year-old Lila Van Doren was curled up in her aunt's basement, starving and weak. Her family had been hiding refugees for years during the Nazi occupation. Lila could barely move. Before the war, she dreamed of becoming a ballet dancer. During the occupation, she secretly worked with the Dutch resistance, smuggling newspapers and performing at hidden events to raise funds. But with famine hitting, survival became her only focus. That day, bombs shook the building. Miraculously, the basement held. Days later, they emerged to see Allied soldiers had liberated the town. The war was over. Lila survived. Though ballet was no longer possible, she pursued acting and modeling. In 1953, she starred in Royal Escape, winning an Academy Award. Lila Van Doren, once on the brink of death, became an icon of resilience. Extra detail: Lila secretly taught ballet to orphan children in her early Hollywood years, passing on her dream and inspiring a new generation. Story 3. The Surgeon's Love. Summer of 1889. Baltimore. Dr. Henry Caldwell, 36, was preparing for surgery with his head nurse, Margaret Linton, 27. Dr. Caldwell believed in strict hygiene to fight infection, a new idea at the time. His hand-washing process was harsh, leaving Margaret's hands blistered. Dr. Caldwell loved Margaret secretly. He wanted to protect her, but couldn't break his rules. Until one day, he invented a solution: a pair of protective gloves. Margaret's hands healed quickly. Dr. Caldwell finally confessed his love. They married. But the story doesn't end there. Those gloves became the first surgical gloves in history, revolutionizing medicine. Love had inspired innovation that saved countless lives. Extra detail: Margaret suggested small ridges on the fingertips to improve grip. That design tweak is still part of modern surgical gloves today. Story 4. The Lost Letter That Changed History. In 1910, 17-year-old Evelyn Moore worked at a small post office in a quiet town. One day, she found a misdirected letter addressed to a prominent scientist. Most people would have tossed it aside or delayed it, but Evelyn carefully delivered it herself. That letter contained critical research on electricity and magnetism. Because of Evelyn's choice to personally deliver it, the scientist read it in time and used the ideas to create an invention that would revolutionize communications: early radio technology. Evelyn never sought fame. She went on to become a librarian, but her single small action helped change the course of technology forever. Extra twist: years later, the scientist credited a young post office worker in his Nobel Prize speech, Evelyn's only recognition. Story 5. The Boy Who Saved a Forest. In 1972, 12-year-old Lucas Rivera loved exploring the woods near his hometown. One summer, he noticed that logging companies were planning to cut down a huge section of the forest he loved. Instead of doing nothing, Lucas wrote letters, gathered signatures from neighbors, and even documented the animals and plants living there. Most adults dismissed him as a child, but he kept going. Eventually, Lucas's efforts reached local government officials, and the forest was declared a protected area. Today, it's home to endangered species and a popular nature reserve. Extra twist: Lucas's childhood photos and notebooks are now part of a local museum exhibit, inspiring children to take action for nature everywhere. 5 incredible lives. 5 small choices. 1 truth. Even the tiniest decisions, whether a conversation, a delivery, or a letter, can ripple across the world in ways you'll never imagine. Which story moved you the most? Comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to check out our library for hundreds of more unbelievable stories. See you in the next video.